I only remember I climbed out of the trench, reached my hands for the drone. Actually, at this moment, I was covered by a blast wave. We were raised up on alert. They fired 120 caliber mortars. We drove on a mine. The wheel broke, and because of this, we flipped over. So we made several somersaults there and then landed. It felt like we almost reached outer space and were thrown to the ground from there.
In this war, we're seeing a lot of head and neck injuries, but the soldiers may well survive these injuries because they're protected on their bodies, but not so well protected around the face. What we've been doing from here is sending medical supplies, usually in the form of medical hardware.
A civilian was living under occupation. Something flew into the yard and he received a mine explosive injury. The left half of his face was damaged. One eye is missing. The patient had an open zygomatic orbital fracture on the left and the fracture of the nose bone. Maxillofacial injury rarely causes death, but it is very difficult for our patients because it disfigures their faces. These bone fragments, we need to put them back together. But patients have a burn because the projectile is hot. So it's not always possible to do it right away. In the explosion, the teeth themselves become fragments and injure all these zones. The face has numerous blood vessels, nerves, and receptors. So the maxillofacial region has always been considered a difficult area in all war times.
We've been trying to assemble kits of screwdrivers, drills, plates to send to Ukraine for head and neck surgeons there to use on patients. I am a long-term career interest in mission work and have had several trips to Ukraine back in the 90s when the former Soviet Union was opening up. At that time we did medical missions, and at that time we observed and I think helped quite a few people who were struggling with various diseases and injuries.
Hi, I'm Dr. Randall Mayfield. I'm a former missions and outreach pastor at the Central Presbyterian Church in St. Louis, Missouri for more than 42 years. And it's been my privilege to be a part of the Peace and Development Foundation board today. Our church and I made multiple trips to Ukraine since 1992. On these mission trips, we shared the gospel. We supported local churches, organized children's camps, delivered humanitarian aid, including medical care and supplies. And it was a blessing to witness and to be a part of God's hand in many people's lives. But today, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see the enemy ruin this beautiful country, especially the lives of the people there. And I personally continue to support Ukraine with prayers and actions, and I would encourage you to do the same. Consider what you can do to help.
I sit in such a cave every day. My only way in, it's my right ear, which currently hears at 30%. And one way out is my tongue, but God gave me these things, and I am very thankful for them. I just have a round hole in my trachea. Air leaves through the mouth and through this hole in the trachea. We played jazz, funk, played rock. But I still dream that we'll do the concerts again. My voice is gradually returning after the surgery. As we can see on the right, everything is broken, but there are bones that can be reassembled. I have already had 16 surgeries. The shrapnel hit my face the most. Now, I already keep my shoulders straight, with my head held high. But there were also dark moments. These 2 months were so painful. Sometimes it's very difficult mentally to go through it. My wife is one of those points that helped me to survive all this. I told my parents I'm okay, just a little hit by a mine. There was a small chance that I would live because some of my arteries were damaged. Doctors stabilized the vertebrae. 2 of them were dislocated and broken, and made plastic of the orbital bone where the eye plate is now. He had a comminuted fracture of the eye hole. Luckily, he is not going to lose an eye. If the shard had hit a centimeter lower, he would have lost sight in one eye.
Sometimes I joke it was my Christmas present, you know? Night of December 30th and December 31st. That's 6 hours of work. This is a full fixation of the orbit lower edge using the plates on the left side. Fixation of the vascular crest in the orbit on the right side. Fixation with a plate in the lower jaw on the left. It was a mine explosive injury to the chin. It was a completely shattered chin. Then we removed the stones and metal fragments from the patient's face, so it was a full reconstruction of the chin.
I would appeal, while I'm speaking about this, to any one of you in the medical profession or allied health professions who may have access to unused or leftover surgical hardware for bony reconstruction of the head and neck and cranium, to consider contacting Peace and Development Foundation in order to move these items to Ukraine for use on the front lines.
If they put in a few more plates, there's no need to wear a helmet. Well, it's a good option, I guess. It's like a new life, you know. The old life is in the past somewhere. Now, I'm starting a new life. I get reborn, and I fully accept myself. I don't think I've lost anything, that I'm missing something. I don't live with that narrative in my head. First, I was lying and lying. It was like, ouch, it hurts. Then I woke up one morning. It was still my first month of treatment, and I say, Alia, damn it, we have no plan. I don't understand anything, so I got angry. Then we made a plan. Took the computer, created a schedule. We wrote down all the tasks there, added all contacts, and mentioned who's calling whom and why. We even planned some tasks for friends, how they can help us. Seriously. All of my family joined and helped. My father came from the army. His colleagues understood the reason was serious, so he was sent on leave. All my friends came too. They helped very actively. Even strangers came into my hospital room and tried to help. They brought some things. This is a very important thing that really gives you support and faith that you fought for such a big family. Ukrainian family.
I want to encourage you to join us in this work and ministry by encouraging the people of Ukraine. You can learn more about the work of the Peace and Development Foundation and support us with your donations of funds, medical supplies, and helping with doctors and nurses training. Please go to www.peacedevelopment.fund and help today.